Hey guys, I know it's been couple weeks, but I couldn't stay away from too long. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Look at my edges, child. Beyonce said, forget these laid edges, we're gonna let them shrivel up. And by golly, are we doing that for the moment. But yeah, if you're not new here, welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. This video, I just felt led to, well, let me backtrack. Some things have been happening in my personal life that have been shifting, and kind of just changing what was my normal schedule as far as like shooting YouTube videos and stuff. I'm now working full time, and so that takes up the bulk of my time, and then the time that I do have left I give to my son and other loved ones, other people that are near and dear and special to me. So I've just been kind of waiting to feel inspired to record again. And I took some helpful advice from a friend of mine who told me, when you feel like you don't have anything to give, start to communicate with people. And eventually I was led and inspired. So thank you. Lately, today, given what's the word I'm looking for? Lately, I have just been finding balance with everything. And today, I felt led to speak on the topic of being a quote unquote fixer in a relationship. It's not just let me backtrack. To me, and I can only speak from my experience, and I know that people could probably relate to it, but in terms of being a quote unquote fixer, I think that when somebody comes to you who may be feeling anxiety or stress or uncertainty, for me, when somebody comes to me with that energy, I naturally feel like I'm supposed to help in any way that I can, whether it be advice, whether it be some healing tips, whether it be just to be a listening ear. I generally feel like I'm a bit of a fixer in that way. And I think I instill that from my mom. Just natural born fixers, just wanting to make things right, because I feel like it's just hand in hand with who I am, who we are naturally. For those of you who don't know, I am a Libra, and it is Libra season. But yeah, to just speak in terms of being a Libra and in terms of myself, I operate and thrive best in a harmonious environment, tranquil, peaceful. And of course, I know that the world we live in isn't necessarily always those types of energies. So I find it best for me to try to create that environment, whether I'm going into it's a situation or an area, or especially within my home. So yeah, I just been gathering my experiences and just felt led to touch on that topic today. Recently I had a conversation with a friend of mine who, fairly new friend, and we're getting to know each other more, and things are great. But we were having a conversation, and this friend of mine just really wanted to express themselves. And although I was listening, it was a part of me that like my gears were grinding in my head, and I'm just like, what can I do to help the situation? That's all I ultimately wanted to do, was help the situation. How do I make the situation better for this person so that they're not feeling any uncertainties or anxieties or what have you? And I really had to sit with that for the evening, and it kind of carried over into the next day. And I had to really step back outside of myself and reevaluate what I am supposed to be truly doing. You know, perhaps that moment was just meant for me just to listen and not offer advice. Even though that's what I naturally felt led to do. And I know that could be a trait with a lot of men and women who consider themselves quote unquote fixers. But I had to step outside of myself and be like, Lita, it's not your problem to fix. It's great. It's wonderful that you want to assist and aid and help and try to resolve anything. But ultimately, if somebody is going through something and they come to you, ultimately, you can give advice, you can be helpful and say helpful things, but ultimately, it is up to them to resolve any internal anything going on within them. And it's taken a while for me personally to come to those terms, because especially in intimate and personal relationships, dating, so to speak, I felt like that was a part of what I brought to the quote unquote table of a relationship. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I know some people aren't listeners. Some people aren't great at giving advice. You know, some, not to downplay on anybody's negativity, but I'm just speaking in terms of my strengths and what I feel I bring to and add to. But again, it just goes back hand in hand to what their responsibilities are for them and what my responsibilities are for me. It's not my job to fix. It's not your job to fix anyone. Of course, I feel like I've been put on this earth to be a positive example and a positive light for others, but as well for myself. And sometimes you have to be quote unquote selfish with your time to really understand what it is that you're supposed to be doing for self. And once you figure out what you're supposed to be doing for self, you are then helping others. I know that could be a little bit confusing sometimes. It was a little bit confusing for me, but yeah, to grasp that concept of just being a listening ear, just being that friend that you could vent to, offering some advice, but ultimately knowing, you know, do it what you will, is just something that I want to remind you all. If you are feeling as though you are the fixer in your family, in your relationships, in your friendships, at your job, live your truths, be a great person, have great energy, spread positivity and all the beautiful things of the world. Continue to be you. But in the midst of being you and adding and contributing, allow people to grow for themselves. It's not your responsibility or your obligation to correct anybody's internal conflicts that's a part of their self-love and self-help journey. And no matter how much love you give, and even if it's misunderstood or misinterpreted, just know that that goodness is always going to come back to you tenfold. Keep being light. Keep being the divine beings that you were sent here to be, and focus on self. Fix self. And when you do what naturally you need to do for you, that is ultimately what is supposed to be helping others. So yeah, I just wanted to keep this video kind of short, sweet, and to the point. I will be adding some more content soon. I'm getting into a groove, a weekly groove, so to speak, in terms of balancing my time out and really being able to commit more to uploading great content for you all. I talked to, just a little quick story, I talked to my best friend not too long ago, and she told me that she was watching one of my videos and that she really had to step back and reevaluate herself, and that those words of advice that I gave in that particular video helped her. And so that just made me feel so much more full, and to know that this is the right path. It's just that reassurance of this is what I'm supposed to be doing, even if I can't dedicate my full time to it right now. So yeah, find out what works for you. Try to remain in balance, not imbalance, but in balance. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave some love in the comments for me. I would greatly appreciate it. I look at every comment that is left. And yeah, if you guys want to ask me anything, or want me to touch on any topics, or want me to express some more of my personal journeys, I'm more than willing. Just let me know. Follow me on Instagram at NY, that's _INWHY. You can always DM me there too. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace, love, and light. Bye.